One of the security concerns for us here is a few elements that are inciting members of public and inciting communities against each other. One of the things that I have told the security team is to be very firm with anybody who is making inciting remarks against any community or any person. We know that some of those people are political actors that don't come from Uasinigishu and they don't come from Rift Valley, but they try their best to create a wedge between communities in the hope that as a result of this wedge they can try with their small minds. They think that by doing so they paint a bad picture on the government, but more deeply is because they want to use human beings and they want to use communities to fight against each other so that they can make their political point. We are going to be ruthless against those political actors. Some of them attempted during the 25th June protest or attempted protest and the 7th of July. And they tried to bring goons from other counties, from Nakuru, from Laikipia, from Trans Nzoia, to come and try to cause chaos in this county. The security team are finalizing investigations, particularly on the financiers and the chief inciters in this county, and arrests will be done in good time. Some of those who are trying to finance attacks on properties and attempted attacks on properties will be properly charged for the crimes that they are trying to commit. I reiterate, because I have seen my Law Society of Kenya leadership, and as a member, I totally disagree with those who want to make it lighter. They want to make it look cheap when we say that people who are banning courts, banning police stations, banning businesses with petrol bombs, stealing guns, banning houses for police officers, banning vehicles for county government and for banning supermarkets, looting people's businesses. All those people are properly defined in the Prevention Terrorism Act of the Republic of Kenya. They are defined to be terrorists because they have committed acts of terror. And if we find them attempt to do so, even in this city, we are going to charge them for what it is. We want to make sure, and I want to tell the Law Society of Kenya not to always be on the side of the criminals. They must be on the side of Kenyans. They must be on the side of preventing crimes in this county, in this region, and the Republic. Because there is no point for the Law Society of Kenya to spend a lot of energy to try to reduce the bail terms for suspected criminals who have properly been arrested and located in the scene. You know, banning properties and banning police stations and banning courts. Those are terrorists that must have their day in court, and they must not get the assistance of any civilized person, let alone the Law Society of Kenya. I want to ask the courts not to be intimidated and to be partners with the National Police Service, to be partners with the security sector in trying to forestall a crisis in the country. The reason why we have had crisis in the past is because people watch characters with bad utterances, politicians planning goons, politicians paying for people to ban people's properties, and in the past, because of fear of political repercussions, they have taken a lighter step. I want any lawyer to look at me on the face and define for me that a person who has used a petrol bomb to ban a court or ban a police station or ban administrative offices or ban a supermarket or ban anybody's property or ban government vehicles, and tell me another definition that is far much better than the one we have given under the law of Porter, that is Prevention of Terrorism Act. And by the way, I was a member of parliament when we passed that act, you know, and I see some of these political actors are trying to play holier than thou kind of posture to the public? Does former Speaker of National Assembly, J.B. Muturi, forget that he passed this law by hook or crook? He was sitting there when this law was passed in National Assembly. People poured water on him, and he stood very firm that time and said, we must have a strong law, security laws, that will protect the people of Kenya and protect them against the rogue characters who are performing acts of terror. I want him to perhaps jog his memory and advise, now that he's the legal advisor of the organizers of the goons. I want him to advise them that he was the speaker that presided over the passing of that law. And I want him to come back to his senses as a proper good citizen that he was then when he passed the law that we are now applying. And we will apply it indiscriminatively. It doesn't matter whether you are a member of parliament like me that time or not. This is very important. And I want to give clear warning to all politicians operating in this county. It does not matter which political side you are in. It doesn't matter whether you are an aspirant or holding office. If we find you making insightful statements against for what it is. I know there are some people who are trying to intimidate judges, magistrates, so that they can keep lighter bail terms and lighter sentences. I want to ask the judiciary and the Chief Justice to stand firm, because prevention is better than cure. We don't want people to cause silly activities here. And those people who are being ferried from other counties to come and cause chaos in Uasinigishu, we will arrest you far before you get here. We will, in the near future, we will track you. If you were brought all the way from Ngarwa to come to this county, we will arrest you way far before you get even to Molo. Because you are being transported to come commit acts of crime. This county must, the people of this county, and live in utmost unity. Number two is that in this county we are struggling with second generational alcohol and drugs, hard drugs, including marijuana, and in some situations also even heroin has been found in this county. I have told the security committee of this county, at certain times, that we must get rid of all these drugs. We are here with Kada. We are going to discuss in the meeting how best our chiefs and assistant chiefs are going to help us to get rid of hard drugs in this county. And I must say also, in this situation, there are businessmen and women who are selling second generational alcohol and transporting from neighboring country, but also locally manufactured. Again, I have told the security team to complete the investigation files, and those actors must be charged. I have also asked political leaders to keep off intimidating and calling police officers and threatening them that they will be transferred. No police officer will be transferred under our watch.
And those who have been victims of political actors here trying to harass police officers when they are doing enforcement on matters of second generation alcohol, drugs, and so forth, I want to say here outrightly that we will also come for you, because you are trying to interfere with police officers when they are carrying out lawful arrests and other lawful activities to prevent such kind of alcohol. So here in this county, Nandi, Eldoret, that is an issue of great concern to us in terms of second generational alcohol and drug abuse. Considering also this is county number one, I want to appreciate the residents of this county. They have been very patient. They have the lowest administrative units. They are not even demanding sub-counties like others and so forth. They just want us to complete some divisions and some locations and sub-locations. I have good news for them that pursuant to the brief I've been given here, we are going to operationalize a number of administrative units that had already been gazetted, so that I am told the president has only, in one location, he has one chief and one sub-chief. So the location is manned by the chief and manned also by the assistant chief. I think this is one of the most patient presidents we have ever had, and very law abiding. But now that I'm here, I must make sure that people of Turbo also get fair share of proper administrative units that have been gazetted over time and not operationalized, and we will do so in the next 1 week. The other issues, there's a lot of issues of fraud, like expected in many cities, and I've told the police to also deal hard. I see here so many people are losing their money here. You know, they are being defrauded here. And I want to ask business people here to stop using shortcuts. If you want someone to supply maize to you, you have to have proper agreement. You must know that he's a maize trader. You can't just send your money before even you can get delivery of the goods. The same way people are being defrauded using their phones and so forth. Let's not use shortcuts. Where it requires a lawyer, use a lawyer. Where it requires you to verify certain documentation, verify. When the deal is too sweet, you know, you must be very careful in terms of how you do business. Some of the cases, the police even don't know what to do because you willingly gave out your money, and the other person is telling you, I had the maize, but it's lost, I will bring them. You know, it becomes very difficult for the police to do the investigation. So be very careful. Again, we must protect. This is a university town or an education town. So we must also take care of our students. A number of them are being defrauded, and a number of them also are being victims of alcohol and drug abuse. And part of the reasons why we must be very careful is to protect our young men and women who are in various universities and colleges in this very important city of Eldoret. I think the land fraud also is a serious issue, and I've told the security team to deal with it because we have cases of people being defrauded, or sometimes goons occupying by force people's land and refusing to vacate, or getting fake court orders or fake title deeds in this very city. Tomorrow, the day after, on Friday, once I go to Elgeyo Marakwet and Baringo, I will address issues of banditry in that area and the progress we have made in dealing with the issues of banditry, and we have made significant progress, and we are going to upscale also our operations to deal with these issues of banditry, and the most appropriate place to address that issue is once we go to Baringo and Elgeyo Marakwet, where it's the epicenter of that problem. I think that is really, in summary, some of the issues we are dealing with here. Unless I forget anything that is very key, I think those are some of the key issues. I'll take about 3 questions, and then we exit to go to the most important function here of Ducal of Salam. I also want to encourage, which I'll still say when I launch there, I want to encourage most Kenyans here, especially young people, to take their IDs. There are many young people here and many residents of Uasinigishu who are of age above 18 and they don't have IDs. I want to encourage all of them to take their IDs. We are going to provide a better technology with live capture in all the sub-counties here in Uasinigishu, and the IDs will be ready within 7 days. So there's no reason why many young people should not get their IDs so that they can be able to get government services and also participate in making very important decisions in the next elections. I will take 3 questions. Seth, and who else?
Last one, Mheshimiwa. Let me be the first because you have mentioned something.
Yeah, 1, 2, and then the third one. Is there a lady? Okay, let me take the 3, and then I come with the 2, and then we close in there.
I just want to base on what you have said. Yeah. And the law changed on bail terms, because like you are saying, bail terms should be vanity or impunity, so to speak. Has the law changed? At the same time, are you intending to review Terrorism Act so that it can fit into the current things that are happening in the country, so to speak?
First, the law has not changed in terms of bail terms. It is the discretion of the judge to look at the circumstances and the concerns around the suspects, whether they are flight risk and so forth. Bail by itself is not a punishment, but it must be such that it is a deterrent for those who think that they will commit another crime and continue. Even when we are dealing with the cases, the bail terms must be such that that person will be brought to order. It must not go back to commit similar crimes in the hope that knowing that if they go to court, they will be treated, their cases will be treated lightly. So the law is there. What we want is that our judges and magistrates should not be intimidated by criminals and their allies to give lighter bail terms to suspects whom we know that they are committing very dangerous crimes. On the other side, you said that
Are there plans to review the
no, there is no need to review the law. The Prevention of Terrorism Act is sufficient for all the criminal crimes that we have had, and what we're now waiting for is conviction, because some of those suspects were caught on camera, burning courts, burning police stations, and burning people's vehicles and supermarkets. So the law is sufficient. Just need to implement the law. Seth?
Yeah, just on follow up to that, because LSK says there has to be intention and there has to be watertight evidence to prove that they participated in Terrorism Act. That is just one. My second question is about Medihill, a task force that was given the duty to come up with a report, did that, and submitted that report to the CS Health yesterday. And part of the report is about, they have recommended that Medihill be investigated for what they are saying, crimes in organ trafficking. As a ministry, will the NPS now come into action?
Let me first say that on the question of terrorism, I saw the interview of the LSK president, and I was surprised that she was arrogating herself the position of a judge. We have presented the evidence to court. How did she assess that it was not watertight? And how did she assess that he did not miss the threshold? That is a court process, you know. And there is no court that admits a charge sheet that is defective, you know. There must be a prima facie evidence that shows clearly that there was burning of courts, there was burning of shops, there was cases of stealing of guns, and so defines clearly the acts of terrorism in the Prevention of Terrorism Act. It's very clear. It's even in black and white. As long as you're committing acts that are intended to create fear, destroy property, burn, they have they are instilling fear to the population and so forth. And the law is very clear on those issues. The thing is, I want to ask the LSK to concentrate on pushing for rule of law. And that rule of law includes taking suspects to court. Once they go to court, the president can either turn herself to become a defense counsel and therefore speak on behalf of the defense, but she can also speak on behalf of the people of Kenya who are suffering. I'm yet to hear LSK speak about the courts that were banned, the police stations that were banned, to speak about the vehicles that were banned, to speak about supermarkets that were looted and banned using petrol bombs. I want her to appreciate that she's not speaking for criminals only and suspects. She should speak for the people of Kenya. She should also speak for the peaceful protesters, whose peaceful protest has been disrupted by these same criminals we have arrested. I thought the LSK will be celebrating with the police that thank you very much because you are punishing these criminals that are infiltrating process so that in future we have peaceful protests. Instead, what do? They want to secure these criminals to be free so that when the next protest happens, they will be in the streets assisting other criminals to interfere with peaceful protests, which is counterproductive. Any person who is pursuing peace should hold hands with the National Police Service and the security chiefs to get rid of these criminals so that in future then we will have peaceful protests in the country that are purpose driven, not burning of properties. I want to tell Madam President, my former good student, that on this one she is damn wrong. Yeah, she is actually on the wrong side of history. She needs to quickly salvage her reputation by siding with criminals and terrorists and trying to defend them. And I want to tell also the opposition they are very damn wrong on this one. They should be the first ones to help us make sure that all these organizers of criminal activities are dealt with so that them being in the opposition or any other citizen of Kenya can
can now organize peaceful protests. On the question of Medihill, I would rather not interfere with that particular issue for the medical issue, because it's already in the hands of my colleague, and the process will take, the law will take its course in the fullness of time. But those are some of the things that make Eldoret becomes a center of fraudulent activities, and in this part of the world. And that's why I told the security team they must deal with all kind of fraud. Students being defrauded here, people being defrauded by medical practitioners, people being defrauded by land criminals, and all these characters. So it's all kinds of fraud that must be investigated and dealt with decisively. The last one, yes.
Yeah, my name is James.
I will come to you. I'm saying the last three. Yeah, I'll come back to you. Yeah.
My name is James Gitaka for Media Matters. I have one question. We've seen reports of what's happening in Chakama. Are there concerns currently from where you sit as regards to religious radicalization? Secondly, from the Jukwaa la Usalama where you've been, what are some of the cutting issues that have been raised by members of the public that you wish to share with us?
On the Chakama ranch issue and the question of religious radicalization, I told you this is a problem that is still ongoing. Religious radicalization in Kenya is not just confined to Kilifi. It's all over the place. You saw in Homa Bay the other day. There are some cases even in our counties here, in various parts of the country, but at a lower scale. The one in Chakama ranch is because the actors in the past who have been radicalized are now, they want to start new cells, you know. The good news is that because of the work that was done in the past, we have put in place early warning system, and that's why we were able to avert the issues that are happening in Kilifi, and you can see our security team is capable of handling it. This is a sensitive issue. Even the people who have been arrested and taken to court, who have been taken to prison, and some of them who are being held in remand, are a problem in the prisons there. And so we have to deal with them in a special way. We must make sure that all of them are in solitary confinement so that they don't continue with this ideology and radicalize more people to suffer. So at least on this one, we have early warning systems in the areas that we suspect, and our security teams have been on high alert, and that is why at least no one has died. But you can see some people. You see, it's very difficult also to police everybody where they go and worship. It's only that when you see that there is an element of radicalization to it, is when the police come in. Otherwise, people have the freedom to worship. I'll take another three, especially for local media here. 1, 2, and the lady. Where's the lady? Okay, 1, 2, 3. The three of you, the gentleman. I don't know where she went. Okay.
Respond to our fake agency issue. Why is it Eldoret has always been the target for this agency?
Okay. Employment agency.
Employment and the travel and foreign study services.
Okay.
Because most of the victims from what we've covered over time are from the neighboring counties of the Union County, but it's Eldoret that has been their target.
Okay.
Then there are claims that these people kind of because the number of arrests of the agents that have been made over time, and those was presented in court, is quite very low related to the number of cases that are happening being reported every day. So what is the police doing? Because there are claims that there could be collaboration, because some of these agents are well known to the people. Then secondly, this is a story that NTV, I believe, is following up, an issue to do with fallen soldiers in the country, and they were asking, there's claims that there's from the widows and families of the fallen soldiers, the benefits kind of there's claim that the benefits always come in late. And then secondly, there's that argument about a fallen soldier who is said to have died by suicide. According to the forces, saying they're not given the benefit of
soldiers that is KDF.
Not KDF soldiers, any person in service.
Oh, okay.
They're not given the benefit of.
First, I don't know a specific case, but let me say this, that we, in the National Police Service, all our officers who are serving and some who have retired or those who died in the course of duty, we are trying to make sure that we expedite the veterans law, which is now at a consultation stage, so that we can have clear
legal framework for taking care of the families of those who die on duty. And the benefits of those who retire also should be taken good care of. And the pension issue in the Kenya is not just for police officers or those who have been in service. It's a cross-cutting issue, which is of a challenge. But we want to work on the legal framework to make sure that most of these officers and their families are taken care of. So it is part of the police reforms. It was in the task force report that we must make sure that we work on that issue. On the question of why Eldoret, we are going to Jukwaa Usalama to ask the residents here, why Eldoret? Why are fraudulent people taking advantage of you? Why do they feel easy to come and prey on citizens of this county and the region? First of all, you know, Eldoret is a catchment area of what was in the old days called White Islands. This is a very rich area because there is a lot of farming, there is a lot of rain. So there is a lot of economic activity here and a lot of money exchange hands around here. So where you have resources and you have wealth, there also are, it attracts also these criminals, conmen and so forth. And people are taking advantage of families that do very hard work in their farming and their savings, and they want to take their children to school. That's why you have these fraudulent activities on education abroad, work abroad. You have all these fraudulent activities that are related to. You didn't even mention that there is also other activities here that involve a very old trade around harvesting time. That some characters will come to this town when there is a lot of harvesting that's happening here and defraud men in this city. So it is. It's given with the the environment that we are dealing with here is because people are targeting the wealth of the people in this place. What is important is for us to deal with it decisively, and we have discussed some strategies with the team on how to go forward. But even when we go back, the Inspector General of Police and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations might have to send a special investigation team to once and for all crack this issue. As to whether few people are being taken to court or not, I have no information that. You see, even one person can defraud so many people. One agency can defraud so many people. So it doesn't have to be many agencies for it to become fraudulent or for many people to suffer. So, but again, ladies and gentlemen, and residents of this region, let us also not fall prey. There are some things that we can check. You can check with your chief, you can check with your friend. Everybody is trying to hide that they have got a good deal. You see this thing, somebody saying, I have a good deal here, like the story of Mercury. Somebody's walking around saying, nimepata mtu wa kuuza Mercury, and it's in every town. And one person thinks that he's the only one who has the Mercury. Kumbe there is another one who has the Mercury here, and they are meeting in one building here. Maybe KVDA building, they are trying to sell Mercury, non-existent Mercury. So there is a lot of fraud that happens around here. I want to ask residents to be careful. Last question, or second last?
My name is Gibasuma from KPC, and during the Jukwaa Usalama sessions we've been having across the country, going through Turkana, Samburu, the main issue there is cattle rustling
and banditry issues, yeah.
But capital issue, because I understand it, our member here, I'm a dweller here, it's a largely peaceful county. But my question is, what stands out? What's the main issue here?
As I said earlier, and rightly put, as I told you, these issues of fraud, there are issues of political incitement that take place here. There are issues of intercommunal conflicts or inter-society conflicts, and that's why some of those issues are raised here. But also, these are just the briefs I've gotten from the security teams. We will be with you the whole day. You will hear some of the key issues from now the wananchi here, from the chiefs and assistant chiefs. And I told you, drug and alcohol abuse. Some of those things that I talked about earlier are some of the key issues from the security team. But from the citizens, you will hear the entire day what could be some of the key issues. And again, I'm going to have a session with you guys in the evening. All the media houses operating from here, and media channels, social media and all that in the evening. That should give you that after we've listened to the citizens of this place, that should give us the opportunity to interrogate some of the concerns they have raised. Lastly, you. There was no lady. There was no lady. It's okay. She's not a journalist. Yeah. Atauliza kwa hall. Yeah.
I'm Timothy Kiplimo from CAS.
Yeah.
One, during the president's visit to Kaptagat, we had the president issue stand warning to maybe the opposition leaders on grounds that they were financing the demos. They have been also on record talking tough to these leaders that we are coming for you, we are coming to arrest you. You have just said that investigations are ongoing. 3 weeks down the line, maybe where are we? And how soon are we going to see arrest? Given the fact that we are heading to election in 1 year, how far are we now?
Do you remember the story of the guy who interacted with Jesus on the road to Emmaus? Yeah, Cleopas. And you know, as he talked to Jesus, he asked Jesus. He was telling Jesus about the story of Jesus. Then Jesus was feigning ignorance. He was asked, "Are you new in Jerusalem?" You know, Timothy, you need to know that we have charged a number of people. What is the reason why people are complaining about terrorism charges? It's because we have charged them. We've charged a number of political actors. If you watch our whole process that was going on, and they got some bail terms that we were not happy with. And we are going to charge others. Others happen next week, the others the other week. You saw even another one complaining the other day and celebrating that, oh yeah, he was not charged for terrorism. If the investigation in future shows that any person had committed acts of terror, we will just charge them. Let me say this, it will not matter how long it will take. And we are not going to rest. And there is no, you know, crime does not have a limitation of time. So if it takes 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, we will charge everybody who has committed any offense in all these criminal activities that happened on 25th and 7th. And I'm happy with the progress we are making. And you will be reporting in the news continuously, maybe until the end of the year, a number of characters that will be taking them to court. And we are very, very, they have never seen something like this. And what you will see in the next few weeks is something you've never seen also before. Consistency on the part of the National Police Service in investigating, arresting. When your file is ready, we are not waiting for another person. When your file is ready, you go to court. We will get another one. Your file is ready, you go to court. Because it was easy to commit these offenses as a group. But now, you must stand on the dock as an individual. And kila mtu atachukua mzigo yake mwenyewe. Asante sana.